Hey, let's talk about games. Hello my friend, welcome back, hope you're doing well. Here we are today talking about Martyr in a 10 things you might not know about Martyr video. That's right, I think there's quite a bit of information in this game and quite a few features that often get overlooked, especially when people are shopping around and looking at the game. So this is to let you guys know all of the little nitty gritty things that you can do within Martyr that you might not know about. Let's get started. So tip number one is a very simple one. By pressing the enter button you can obviously engage the chat window in the bottom left, and by clicking the speech bubble down here you can get rid of the damn thing. As well as that you can customize the tabs etc, but for those of us that are trying to concentrate on our combat, getting rid of the damn thing so we can see what we're doing is always handy. Tip number two is in relation to the power rating system or the power level system. You'll notice that we all have a number associated with our character. My current number is 1306, the number for the sector is averaging 1350, and the number for this mission is 1260. Now choosing to do this mission means that these are the modifiers. Now this is where the real beauty comes in. This mission modifier will apply to my entire party irregardless of what power level they are. That means I can take a group of absolutely anyone with me. They can be high level, low level, mid level, whatever level, and this number will still apply. Obviously higher levels will have some slightly better gear, lower levels will have less skill points as well, but generally speaking within Martyr we can all play together and have a good bit of fun. So when you're out there looking for group, don't worry about really sharing your power level. If anything, the only thing that's really relevant is your Inquisitor rank, so people can know roughly where you are in the game, how many skill points etc you might have. But again, you don't really need to, just get people in your group and have some fun together. And then we have the tactical view, accessed by pressing the T button within a mission. This basically toggles between the two views, which are completely customizable. I've opted for more or less everything with my tactical view, so I get access to damage numbers, I get access to thermal vision, but of course if it gets a little bit much and a little bit imposing, I can just press T again to turn it off. And remember, you can customize both of these, so it means that if you want to have one with just numbers and one without, you can do that. If you want one to be exactly the same but with thermal vision and the other one without, you can do that too. I find this a really good feature which not many games have thrown at us before, and I'm really enjoying this. Now the next little tip is regarding the suppression system. You'll notice around my health bar in the bottom left here, I have what appears to be a shield around my health. Now this is actually nothing to do with how much damage I've taken, it's to do with how much suppression damage I've taken, and this is different depending on which weapon is doing the damage to you. Now this will not kill you if it gets to 0, but what happens as it gets lower down here is it means that you will be able to be affected by more and more enemy CC and control abilities. So slows, stuns, shocks, freezes to begin with you're immune to, but as you take more and more suppression, that means that you're going to have more and more problems in regards to being slowed, shocked, stunned, frozen and generally thrown about. It can get pretty annoying. You'll notice as well that enemies have this too. Ogryns, champions, elite, bosses etc. Normal guardsmen won't, normal enemy infantry won't, and some machinery won't as well, including turrets, meaning these guys can be stunned instantly as soon as you see them. These guys, however, you have to whack them a few times. Now what this actually does is it opens up the opportunity for you to slow, stun, shock or freeze etc, or knock back and knock down, and so you can understand which moves you can do when, it's best to look at the actual move itself by hovering over the tooltip. You'll notice the knockdown is red, meaning that their suppression will need to be red in order for me to do a knockdown, so let's go and knock someone down. Use a little jump back, miss him completely, whack him a few times, and then we'll knock him down just to finish off. And one more tip, a free little bonus while we're here, the 5th attack of many melees. Oh, let's just kill him. You get the idea. Now the next tip while we're here is typically the game will operate on a click to move feature, so you can hold the mouse down in order to move towards the mouse, you can click on various locations and then move the mouse afterwards, and that will work just fine. But if you don't like using click to move options, you can actually move independently using WASD if rebound or the up, down, left, right arrows. This is really handy for those players that really just do not like the click to move system. And this moves us very neatly on to the next tip, which relates exactly to this. You'll notice if you use that feature without disabling movement with mouse, it can be very, very awkward. Now I'm free to click anywhere on the map and it will be absolutely fine. So now I can actually click on enemies. Let's swap out a ranged weapon here by pressing the tab button. And now I can move around freely, and if I misclick with the left button somewhere, I'll just shoot it. Really nice to have, really nice to see. And next, I feel if we're going to be discussing control options, it's only fair that we give an honourable mention to the controller as well. That's right, this is one of the ARPGs out there where you have controller support. You are able to plug in your PlayStation controller, Xbox controller, whatever you goddamn like, Steam controller, and crack on and use it. Now obviously I'm not using it at the moment, so I don't have a controller to hand. However, from what I hear, it is very accessible, very enjoyable, and works particularly well with the Assassin. Having the two-stick approach really allows you some flexibility in terms of dodging to a customizable direction very, very quickly. Now sadly we don't have any footage of this to show you just yet, but we do know the game is going to be including couch co-op for the consoles. We don't know if it is or isn't going to be there for the PC as well. However, we do know the consoles are going to be featuring a couch co-op mode. For those of you that aren't sure what it is, it means that multiple people can play on a single console at any given moment, sharing a screen together. We don't know how this is going to work, but I think it's fairly safe. You can probably visualize what worked very well, very, very well for Diablo. Yes, I mentioned it again. Now while we're on the bridge here, I think we should probably bring up the Cabal screen, go over to the tech tree and point out some of these very, very important techs. You'll notice in particular, item collections can be offered to Cabal members. This doesn't sound like something particularly exciting until you go over to Ragnar and go to this tab and realise that you can literally buy for money purple items which are of a pretty high value. Right click on them simply to open them up, get yourself a box, and see what spoils you get. Not bad at all. But while we're on the subject, I do think it's worth mentioning that you can also sell those purples for a little bit of extra fate. So every single time you're passing the shop, I would really recommend stopping on by, picking up yourself some free old purples and selling them back to her. And lastly, if we go down to the tech station and visit our friendly neighbourhood tech priest, you'll notice that we have a fusion tab that can be unlocked via one of the tech trees. Now, over in the fusion tab, what you can do with this is upgrade an actual item. If you drag a relic item in particular into it, you can't upgrade the other items at the moment. If you drag a relic item in and then combine some others, drop some stuff in, do some stuff here, there's some stuff there. Now this central weapon is going to go up to 100% power, giving it some extra power rating, as well as giving it some extra stats. Now I'm not going to do this, I've already done it in the guide, and lost four weapons just for the sake of demonstration, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? You don't want me to delete it? Oh, go on then. 4 relic weapons sacrificed, all for the greater good. Guys, there's your power sword, there's how good it is. A few extra stats, 1% damage, I know, a little bit underwhelming. Could perhaps do with a little bit of a tweak, Neocore. Guys and girls, hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what else you want to know about Martyr, if there's any guide, stats, or streams you want me to do in particular. And I'll see you in the week. Take care.